Haven't talked to you in a while. I did mean to record yesterday, but as you see, I had a cooking accident yesterday. And after I had an egg explode on my face, I ended up spending the rest of the night trying to take care of that. And so this is the end result of that. Uh, what happened, because it bubbled up overnight, and it was kind of rough. And then I was kind of mad because I don't even eat eggs. I was doing it for my husband, and I just made a wrong step anyway, so it exploded on me. Hope you guys are doing good. How's your quarantine stay at home thing going? Hopefully it's going well and everybody's staying safe. We're getting out very rare. My husband goes to work, comes home, showers, and then, basically we just stay in the house. We only leave pretty much when we have to. Or if you're my teenage daughter, when there's extreme boredom and she might get an hour after I've asked her like 1,000 questions and figured out, if the person is safe, where they've been around, all that sort of stuff. But she's a teenager. She's gonna try to get out the house every so often. So she's maybe did an hour here and there, but we're being safe. My parents stay around the corner from me, and they've been doing what they're supposed to do. They're staying in the house. I think if they did the plan that my mom said, they went shopping for 2 weeks worth of groceries and haven't really had to go anywhere. And my sister, on the other hand, we have to kind of make her be still, because she's one of those people that'll just go to Home Depot and go shopping and do different stuff. But I've been missing you guys. I don't know if anybody's been waiting to watch me or not, but I did not want to wait till Sunday to jump on, although I have this crazy thing going on my forehead. I was like, oh my God, I didn't want to record looking like this, but I didn't want to let a whole week go by without jumping on here. Didn't get to do Sweet Truth Thursday. Sweet Truth Thursday is getting a little tough to do with everything being closed. Okay. Of course, we had a little stuff in the house, like a cookie or, something like that, but that's not really a really true sweet, and the really good places are closed. And my friend that makes cakes, I will be walking around myself if I go and buy a cake every time I want to do Sweet Truth Thursday, because her cakes are so delicious. We'll eat the whole thing up. So can't do that. So you guys, I may have to think of something else with Sweet Truth Thursday. Instead of Sweet Truth Thursday, I may have to do just Truth Thursday. I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know what you think. I really enjoy recording with my sister, and I think I'm going to try to have her do that again with me. She liked it, and I really enjoyed having her with me. I have even gotten my daughter to agree to come on here, and I think that it will do really good to see a mother-daughter. My daughter's 17, and for us to get on here and just kind of talk about mother-daughter things. So that's a recording for you guys to look forward to tomorrow. She said we're going to do it tomorrow. I was like, you want to record? And she was like, what day? And I was like, what else do you got to do, chick? We're in the house. And she started laughing, and she's like, well, yeah, I forget that we can't go anywhere anyway. Plus, she's getting ready to do clinicals. She's trying out for the cheer squad and the dance squad. So y'all pray for her. We're trying out for both. And I guess, she'll decide which one is most important to her according to if she makes them both or not. So enough of that history and me just kind of rambling on. Today, I want to talk about, I don't even know if this would be a marriage tip or if this would just be just kind of a talking about, marriage and advice, getting advice from people about your marriage and advising people about your marriage, your relationship, even before you get married, if you're dating to marry. Okay. When I was single, I would hear all the time, don't take advice from your single friends. They don't know anything. They're going to give you bad advice. I never agree with that. Just like I didn't agree with you can't really have single friends if you become married, because I wouldn't have any friends. Most of my friends are single, but they are very respectful of um, marriage, the sanctification of marriage. They are very respectful of my husband and our union. And even if I try to do something crazy, against our marriage, they would definitely check me on it. Those are the type of friendships that you absolutely have to have. Now, a lot of times you'll see people say, don't ask other people, don't tell people your business. I agree with that, and I don't agree with that. Don't tell people that are not fighting or praying for the success of your marriage, that do not want you to have a successful union. Okay. And by that, I mean, you have those naysayers. You have some people that are like, oh, I'm so happy for you, but they're not, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys watched Twilight, but there was like one of the friends on there, and she would always be like, I'm so happy for you, Bella, but she really wasn't. Those type of people. And it could be family, friends, they pretend to be happy for you, but they're not. They're not good people to ask for advice from. And a lot of times people say don't ask family for advice because family automatically is going to side with you. My family is not that way. I understand that most are that way. I have even been told, you're cool and everything, but this is my brother. Basically like, you cool, but we don't care about you. We care about him. And it's like, okay, that's all good. But be very careful with that because you do not know truly what's going on in that marriage. You only know one side. Now, I will say that I am if I'm going to tell a story, I'm very open about the story. And my husband's pretty good with that too. But in order to get the whole picture, you usually have to talk to both people. And that's the with my side of things, I mean, we're always all together and we all talk about stuff. I mean, and they know me very well. As far as my parents, my dad is our pastor. So a lot of times if we have to receive some type of counseling of any sort, we usually go to my parents because he's my husband's pastor, and they're very blunt and honest. Okay. And they have no problem checking me if I'm out of line, and they are wanting to see a successful marriage. Okay. They're not waiting for the shoe to fall or anything like that. They're waiting for success. Okay. They're fighting for success. Whereas you have some people that are not. Okay. They'll ride with you on any craziness that you have, and they want to see the worst thing to happen in your marriage. Those are the people you need to let go of. Okay. Those are the people that you don't need to include. But seeking real wisdom, nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Somebody's probably saying, no, you shouldn't do that. Oh yeah, sometimes you should. There will be times in your relationship where you both are stonewalled and you cannot agree on a topic. There will be some things that you have to agree to disagree on. Okay. But there are some things you definitely need to work through. And sometimes you need a mediator to help you to come to some reason with each other. I'm being nosy, y'all. Okay. Because I thought I was trying to figure out who was driving because I'm sitting in my favorite spot, y'all. I'm a little stoop. And, but anyway, you have to understand that sometimes there will be times like that where you'll need somebody to say, okay, y'all need to come to some type of middle ground here. Even if that means let's table this situation, or you give in for this time period. Then at this time period, you agree that we're going to do this, that, and the other, whatever that is. Okay. Don't get so caught up in, what negative things people say. Because even with me, sometimes when I give advice, I tell people from the point of view that I have experienced. Okay. Now with married couples, I'm always fighting for people to stay married. Now, one thing I will not tell you to stay married through is abuse of any kind. Okay. I'll be like, hey, you need to get out of that, any type of abuse or addictions. But that's because of things that I've been through, guys. Okay. So that's just it. But in general, I'm like, no, there's nothing out here, girl. There's nothing out here for you. This dating game is no joke. Okay. Ain't nobody having fun out here dating unless they don't want to be married. You know what I'm saying? And so I encourage people to stay in their marriages and fight through their marriages. I seen a question last week on Facebook where somebody was saying, why don't marriages last long as they did when our grandparents and stuff were married? And I was conflicted with my answer. One of those answers the quick answer that I gave was, people want to live, they believe in a fairy tale. I don't know about guys, but I know women, a lot of times we're raised to believe our Prince Charming comes along and it's all, Mary Poppins and sunshine, and he's going to be romantic all the time. You're going to make great love all the time, and he's your best friend, and da 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 da. Okay? And it's not always that way. You're going to have hard times. And if you're stuck in this presumption that things are always going to go well, then you're definitely not going to make it in your marriage. You're going to be trials and tribulations that could break you if you allow it to. Okay? That's why a lot of times when people first get married, they struggle because who you were dating and who you married it's a little different. It's a little different when you get married, because now it's like, hey, I'm with you for life, some things that you thought were cute or you ignored or you didn't even notice when you were dating because you were still in, the euphoria stage of it. It settles in, and things, are different in a way. That is one of the things that I really am glad about with me and Andre, because we've been married. Each of us have been married before. And so it's like we absolutely did not expect sunshine, flowers all the time. We came in, I think, looking at things certainly differently than we probably did in our initial marriage. I know for sure that we did do that. I know when I was in my early 20s and got married, what I expect now and my expectations then are just totally different. I don't expect for us to always just want to just look at each other and, have hearts in our eyes. And also sometimes I get on his nerves and sometimes he gets on mine. We don't always agree on everything. We're both individuals with different experiences, different, things going on. But it's important, I believe, to have a strong support group for you, if it's possible. Some people, they just don't have that, but it's really important, like even in a wedding, I think that I want to say that my dad did this where basically he was saying that those that are there witnessing this union and promise to pray for the strength of the union and all that. Of course, everybody in there ain't gonna do it, but you should have some, that are praying for you. I remember, back in the day, even when I was a little girl, if there was rumors that a couple was gonna break up or there was an issue going on, the pastor would call you over to the house for dinner with his wife and talk to you and your wife, Now people are like, yeah, my business. Okay, well, you might need some wisdom in your business. It never hurts to deal with wise people. It's the fools that you got to look out for. Okay, don't accept foolish advice. And because some people really want to see you fail in your relationships. They don't want to see you happy. Or they just don't know any better. They're ignorant. You can't take advice from everyone. I totally agree with that. But to seek wisdom is wise within itself. So if you're in a relationship and you really don't know how to resolve something, or if it's even you're like, I can't get past this thing, or I need to grow in this area, and you have somebody with some wisdom, because I can't tell you how much. I mean, it could be something simple. I'll ask my mom about, because I recognize at this point in life, my parents are human. You know what I'm saying? My dad drives my mom crazy sometimes too, and my mom drives my dad crazy sometimes. But they have a union. They're one. They respect each other's space. They respect each other as individuals. And so sometimes I ask my mom for tips on stuff. I always like what she says, but it makes sense. You know, when I follow her advice, because she has that wisdom, it works. Okay. It really works. And even with my dad, you know, and I'm blessed, and I don't take it lightly that I have both my parents in my life, and I've had them in my life, because my mom comes from the woman perspective in a marriage, and she's able to coach me and my sister, you know, even with relationships, anything that has to do with men. My mom's able to coach us from her point of view on what we should do and what's not right, and how, you know, not to do things that are not appropriate. And she'll call us out on it, like, "No, you just being mean. Stop." You know. My dad is different though. He will explain it from a guy's perspective. He doesn't usually take the guy's side per se. He will, he will outright say, "Now that was just ridiculous. You were being ridiculous." You know, if I'm being just ultimately ridiculous. I know my husband doesn't believe that, because he was like, "Sharonda, she can't do no wrong. That's your baby girl. She just can't do no wrong. You don't say nothing to the girls," you know, me and Joanna. And I was like, he'll say something if we're wrong, but he also gives good advice from a man's perspective. If I call him and ask him, "Well, Daddy, what do you think? Why is this and that?" He'll say, "Well, from a man's perspective, this is the way he's thinking of this, or this is the way he's looking at this. And this is how you know, when you approach this way, this is how he's feeling." I take that advice because I know they're rooting for us. So that is my topic for today, that I was going to talk about yesterday before I burnt my forehead cooking an egg. So remember, when people say you shouldn't tell anybody your business, okay, but you shouldn't be scared to seek wisdom from the wise. Okay, don't go to no fool asking them for advice. And sometimes the fools are your family. Everybody in your family ain't rooting for you. I'm sorry. If they not rooting for you and you know they not, don't go to them. If they don't have any positive feelings about your spouse, and you know they don't like your spouse, don't go to them. Go to somebody that loves the both of you, and that's rooting for the both of you at the same time. They want to see you successful. They want to see you happy. They want to see you grow. And they want to see you wise, so that you can pass your wisdom down to someone else when they're in the same boat as you. All right, you guys, I hope that you're staying safe. I hope that this was a good talk for you. I'm not going to be able to upload this on Instagram because it was a little long. But it is going to be on YouTube, of course, under Shay Cherie. And it's also going to be on Memoirs of an Imperfect Christian. Sorry, you guys, I'm just tongue-tied. On Facebook. But I'll upload the link on Instagram. I will see you guys later. Be safe out there. Bye.